Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Phillies are on the upswing, winning consecutive series against the Cubs and Blue Jays. The Phils sit just 2 games behind the division-leading Mets and hold the first wildcard spot. Nick Castellanos is sat for a game for inappropriate comments. Zach Wheeler announces his future retirement. Danny Briere speaks to the media ahead of the NHL draft. Who will the Flyers end up with at 6? The Florida Panthers win their 2nd straight cup. Can we learn anything from how they built their team? The NBA draft also approaches. VJ Edgecombe has emerged as the favorite for the Sixers at 3. What could the Baylor guard bring to the team? Has the door been closed on Ace Bailey? And is a trade up to 2 still a possibility? All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Doing pretty good. Nice and cooled off now after a hot, muggy day. Seems to be getting kind of nice, so feeling good that way. Had the air on for a hot minute, but other than that, can't complain, man. Good to be back. Had a week off last week. Feel like it's been that time of year where we kind of go back and forth of every other or whatnot, but
It's going to be hot as fuck next week.
Oh my God, brutal. But yeah, man, good to be back down in Bada Bing for the pod.
Yeah, we're back.
Back in action.
Pat's saying it's good. We needed to take off. Or really, Pat needed to take off, honestly, if we're being honest here. He was the one that suggested it. But hey, at the same time, we didn't have a whole lot to talk about, whereas we took a week off, and now there's plenty of stuff going on. We got done the Hoogie Crawl. We'll talk about that a little bit. Caitlin Clark is getting quote-unquote assaulted. The drafts are coming up. There's a bunch of stuff going on.
And World War III is starting.
Yeah, World War III, yeah.
I mean,
lest we forget.
Yeah.
Popping up in Philly, outside of Philly, all over the world.
The Civil War in MAGA world as well is happening.
Yeah, we got fires. We had bad AQI last week because of the fires in Burlington County.
Mm-hmm.
Summer has officially arrived, man. What a time.
The world is back to burning, so it's great.
Yeah, you know what I seen today? Today was the 2-year anniversary, or today's the 2-year anniversry of the submersible.
Oh, no way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's probably the best pod episode we did yet.
Damn,
All right,
hell yeah. Pour one out
submersible.
for the fucking...
Yeah.
For the cannibals
You
in
actually
there.
poured one out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do that too. Trevor never let us do that in his
Pour
house.
one out to the horny cannibals in the fucking submersible. Damn.
Damn, dude.
And father and son duo, which made it awkward, but is what it is.
Yo, who you think... we never talked about this. Who got eaten first, the father or the son?
Well,
I don't think there was anything left to eat.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I guess there was probably some little bits floating around.
Well,
Yeah, they weren't
there had to
eating
be
anything,
something.
though.
Nah. I mean, I think logistically, you don't want the biggest guy. It's too much
They
fatty.
just turned into
to
chum.
Eat. Yeah.
But hypothetically speaking,
Hypothetically speaking,
if you're on there with
run
a
out of
father
oxygen.
and a son,
Mm-hmm.
it comes down to who we're eating first. Who's getting eaten first, the dad or the kid?
How much did the kid
I
weigh?
don't remember what they looked like.
Well, you got the nice lean. It's like veal then, right? You got the nice young meat, or you got the like old stag,
Little
but
fatty.
you know, could be some nice jerky
There's
up
probably
in there.
there's probably more meat on the dad, but
Mhm.
the kid's probably the better meat.
Yeah, I'd say probably the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I used to always be saying this. If we were ever going to eat any of our friends, I would be a great meal.
Probably.
You think so?
I used to say that a lot.
I'm safe.
Yeah,
But I ain't got enough meat.
You don't got nothing on you, Trevor. Trevor, you don't got nothing on you. I would be a great meal. But I'm not going down without a fight, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Y'all ain't
Yeah,
taking me down without a fight.
You should go visit some of those, weird islands with like the uncontacted tribes where like people go to try to convert them to Christianity and just get eaten.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going there.
Go check that out.
They'll be happy as shit. They're like, oh my God, this guy smells so good on the grill.
Trying to convert me and then eat me?
No, you convert them.
You're trying to. Yeah, you go down there and bring
These like missionaries try to bring them.
I know what you're
starvers, and
talking
you go down there with like a 30 rack
Mhm.
and
the crawl shirt.
some hoagies.
Y'all ever hear
and
of
and like a blunt, and to be like, we're gonna try to assimilate you to Western culture,
Although
Western Philadelphia culture.
That would be a lot better than like, you ever heard my friend, my Lord and Savior Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, and you get a fucking
I feel like
poison dart
people
to the
would be
neck.
down with that. If you showed up with some beer and some good food and some weed,
Mm-hmm.
people would be like, oh, okay. I've been living in the
I
darkness
do
the whole
remember
time.
a couple years ago reading this story about how, some I guess, I don't know if you'd call it a charity or some kind of organization went into one of these, like, it wasn't one of these, like, violent, crazy tribes. It was just, like, a very, like...
Remote tribe,
like, you know, and was able to set something up to give them internet access.
Oh,
and
shit.
apparently within, like, weeks, like... They all got addicted to internet porn.
Good.
it's like damn, like that's how you just bring down a society.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how you assimilate them into Western culture. Just become a porn degenerate.
Their first
You're
search.
going to become some kind of degenerate, gambling, porn.
Their first search, titties. You're like, okay, all right, I like this. Damn, that's funny as shit. Well, thank God we don't live in the weird tribes of the rainforest, and we're here just in the hot swamp of Philadelphia.
I think there'd be some benefits living in a weird tribe in the rainforest.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry about stuff going on. You're not like sitting there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You're not worried about climate change, or you should. But I mean, you wouldn't really know.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on. Ignorance is bliss.
You would just think that some random god is tormenting you the whole time. Like, oh my God, all the fish is gone. Oh, the forest is burning down.
Eventually you'd have to worry about climate change, but you wouldn't really know why. It's just all of a sudden everything's
you'd have to start sacrificing babies and shit.
Yeah. I mean, but now you wouldn't know anything about stuff. Like
you end up
having World War III.
Yeah, but food and clean water and a bed and I mean, yeah, the mental health might be. It would just be a change of dynamic of what you would fear and what you would be consumed by.
Yeah, it's
you wouldn't be doom scrolling.
Would you rather be doom scrolling and have social media induced anxiety, or would you rather just be afraid of getting eaten by wild animals
or a fucking
something
frog
like that?
Or a fruit? Someone's
a frog.
Well, some poison frog. You're trying to do some shit.
And you might lick the wrong one.
That is true. There's some snakes in the rainforest.
You can't say, "Show me a poisonous frog." You're like, "Oh, this shit looks good." Then you kill your whole family because you think you brought home food. But
I mean, you can combat that snakes and shit with weapons.
There's I think it's in the rainforest and shit. There's those fish that swim up your dick hole.
Oh,
and then expand.
Yeah, people die from that.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not the adventurous type
like that.
I'm
not going to go in the water.
I don't need to go any of those places.
Hey, anyway, I mean, how would you clean yourself?
Well, I'm not going to go in the deep water. I'm going to go in the shallows where the fish probably aren't really swimming at.
Yeah, you just go knee deep.
I mean, if they can fit in your pee hole, they don't need deep water. It sounds like.
I don't know, man.
Well, again,
I mean, you could just you go in knee deep, get yourself a bucket.
Where you get the bucket from? You're in the forest.
I think you'd be all right.
Well, you'd bring some stuff with you.
Oh, so we're just going to create our own tribe. We're not
we're gonna water.
You're gonna go into the
we're going camping forever.
The uncontacted tribes and show them the wonders of modern technology, which is just a bucket, and a shovel.
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
Blow their
mind. You gotta start small.
A lighter.
That's the problem. You can't just go straight in and be like, "Here's internet porn."
No, bring a lighter.
That's too much.
That would be enough.
Fast.
Yeah, a lighter, dude. They would be mesmerized.
Right.
He pulled this thing out with his finger and clicked it,
right.
And it made fire.
Maybe
cook our whole meal.
Maybe do the whole. Got your nose. Maybe they'll think you're a magician or something.
Or they might think you're some kind of demon and kill you.
Oh yeah. Well, there's the old. That would be my luck.
Well,
I would do or say something stupid instantly, and they'd be dead.
Well, here's what you do with the water, is you boil it. So you kill all the little fish that swim up your pee hole. And then you can wash yourself with it after the fact once it cools down. That ain't rocket science.
I don't know. I'd rather just live the life I live. That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
I mean, I guess the one disadvantage to living in the rainforest being secluded is the reason we're here is sports. I mean, what kind of... I guess they probably play sports, but they don't really get to watch.
They probably got some crazy-ass sport.
Yeah, they don't have the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have drafts, the NBA
they don't get
or
to
NHL
watch the Super
draft.
Bowl ads.
Yeah. Right, they don't know misery like we do.
What do you think that... if they want... never mind. Sometimes there probably isn't a city they can go to a bar and watch the Super Bowl. Yeah, never mind.
What? They don't got...
Yeah, they're in the middle of nowhere.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they would
just be sitting there, their brains would just get rocked.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
to comprehend a bar, and then what we're doing in the bar.
Dude, they have alcohol.
I don't know, man. I think they're more plant-based stuff.
You can make alcohol out of plants. You can make wine out of grapes.
I'm talking about leaf kind of plants.
Well, they get high off cocaine and weed. They still party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those drug parties are probably wild, yo.
And everyone's all naked and dirty and
Yeah.
shit.
They probably have live music. They're probably playing live music, yo. They probably are. You scoff, you smile, they probably are.
I'm not scoffing. I'm just trying to picture what that would sound like.
Nah,
That'd be
man,
wild.
that's probably dope.
Yeah.
Like the tribes, like back in the day, they used to party.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Until
what I'm
we
saying?
killed them all.
Yeah, until not me.
Well, not
maybe,
we. I mean, not
maybe
me.
you
Not
and
me.
Trevor. Not me. Well, not
I
you.
do that.
Your people.
Mm-mm.
Trevor's people.
What are you talking about?
Hannah's people. I heard her coming upstairs. They're her people, not my people. But anyway, what the hell are you?
Are you
talking
English?
about?
You got like
I don't
old
think
Dutch
there's any
in you?
English. No.
Oh,
I mean,
then we're safe. None of us were.
Oh, okay.
None of us were conquerors.
yeah.
We were just drunks or peasants.
Or slaves. Yeah.
Or that. I guess. Yeah.
But anyway, what the hell are we even talking? Damn.
We just opened up. We didn't even get into anything.
Yeah,
yet.
we're not even talking about anything.
Oh, okay. Jeez. Yeah, I had a few beverages before this today.
Phils are on.
Adios mio.
Yeah,
We
Phillies
can
are
jump
on
into them. They're
winning.
on right
Yeah.
now, leading the
Yeah,
Marlins.
yeah. Let's hit the Phillies real quick. What the hell's the score?
It was still 4-1 last I checked.
Suarez with another nice start.
Solid outing.
Solid outing.
Yeah.
1 run over 7 innings.
Yep. Looking
Yeah,
good.
4-1,
Strikeouts.
top of the ninth.
All
Okay.
right, here we go.
Okay.
Looking at another win here.
Former Philly Tyler Phillips is on the mound.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Bishop,
man.
Bishop Eustace grad, I think.
Yeah, he was like, he had
He's
a
been Pennsauken
shutout.
boy, yeah.
But yeah, man, Phils are back on the up and up. Thankfully the Mets are on a slide too. They've been pretty
they've
shitty.
lost 4 straight,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, what's the score to their game right now?
I know they went extra innings and
Where are
lost
they
last
playing? Are they
night.
playing the Braves right now?
They're
Yeah.
down 4-0. We're about to be a game back in the
That's
bottom of the
perfect.
6th.
All right.
Then
Which, see, but that sucks though because then they have one more game against the Braves and we have one more against the Marlins and then we play each other.
Yeah.
I
So
hate how
they're
that
going to be due.
they're gonna fucking clean us out. It's
Well-
just what happens every fucking time.
Well, we
play the
can get
Mets.
to that series. I want to talk about that series for a minute. But we got to talk about what the Phillies been up to.
Yeah,
It's been good.
had a good outing against the Cubs. We got to see a great game. Went to go celebrate Pat Morgan's birthday, friend of the pod, my best friend Pat, on last Friday.
Yo, happy birthday, Pat.
He appreciates it. And that was like the Friday Night Lights game. Every time they hit a home run, they have like that light shit going down, which is like
gotcha.
whatever. But they crushed them that game. It was awesome. We were a little
Yeah, that
tuned
was
up.
like the 11-0 game or
Mhm.
something.
We were a
Yeah.
little tuned up, so I don't actually really remember a lot of the game, but it must have been great because they won. So
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the season, man, is if we were to record it last week, I would have been down, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have been like, man, we're 1-9 in our last 10. Bryce Harper's on the IL with this wrist thing no one knows about. This team's a bunch of frauds. They just got swept by Pittsburgh. Like, what the hell are we talking about? But now we come on this week. It's like, okay, they swept the Blue Jays, who were 8 games over 500 when that series started.
Yeah, took 2 out of 3 against the Cubs.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
best team, like the best team offensively in the NL, like one of the best teams in the NL, period.
Yep.
And then, the Marlins were about to take the first 2 out of 3 of that series. So here's the thing with baseball, is we talked about this last time we recorded, man. It's a long season. The thing, like, you got to realize with baseball, man, is unless you're like 2015 Phillies bad, where you know what, it was also the anniversary of the white flag game.
Oh, shit.
You remember that shit
Oh,
in
yeah.
Baltimore?
Yeah.
See, like, unless you're that bad, it's never as bad as it seems, right? Like, yeah, you might go 1-9, but like, whatever. I mean, you went 1-9, you lost those last 3 games against Pittsburgh by 1 run each. Still sucks.
Mhm.
I'm not making excuses for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like a high like we're on right now, like, let's be honest, it's probably not as good as like it feels like it is right now. Like in baseball, it's such a long season that you just kind of have to keep that middle ground and stick to the middle of the road until you get to the playoffs. Then you can be reactionary as hell because that's your season.
Yeah.
But like during the regular season, as long as you can stay afloat, which the Phillies are 18-12 in their last 30, tied for second with a few other teams for best in baseball. If you keep that up all season, a 660-something winning percentage, you're good.
Yeah, you're in the mix. Just got to get in, and then it's just whoever's hot during the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's consistency in baseball, and it's hard to be consistent throughout the whole entire year. So I get what you're saying with that. I mean, they're a frustrating team, right? I mean, they have all the pieces there. I think Cassie, again, at the beginning of the season was like, it's great coming in with no expectations, and he was hot. I mean, he's been he was, I guess, until the last couple of games, was one of the hotter Phillies on the team during that little, hot streak that we had against the Cubs and against Toronto. You get Harper back, the team could change their dynamic too. They always change when they get him back. They don't do bad historically when he's not playing, though, I will say, which is a bit odd. I think it's like 535 to 542 win percentage.
Right,
it's kind of could do without him, honestly. It's like that way. Obviously, the games that he wins and the way that we win has a more, impact to it, I would say. Like, it's more fun when he's up to plate and, hits the walk-off home run and all that. Brings that sense of swagger to the team for a white Mormon guy. But I think that, if they're doing what they can, it's good to see other guys step up. I mean, Turner's really turned it around and been on a hot streak as well. Had that 9-game hit streak for a while. Max Kepler, his average might be low, but he's been hitting the ball real well of late, especially in this last couple 10-game stretch here. Baum, been crushing it, which is good. All that shit talking I did finally got through to him,
too.
must be, Only person, you mentioned it too earlier, once Schwarber gets hot too, that's a whole other dynamic. And he's been kind of light. I mean, it's only been, 2 weeks in for June or whatnot, but this is usually his bread and butter. He started off real hot, which is great, but it's only a matter of time where he gets his swing back like that, and we're firing all cylinders there, offensively.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the pitching's been fine too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, for the most part, things are going well. Are you all concerned about this random Harper injury?
Kinda. I mean, it's just seems unclear when he's going to be back. It's definitely it's nice that they've been able to stay afloat with him out, but it's definitely a little concerning because it's just you just don't really know the severity, or it seems like one of those just kind of nagging things, and I don't know. You worry that they're going to bring him back too soon. He's going to re-aggravate at a bad time. So, yeah.
I feel like that's kind of been Harper's bag. He's almost got like a Avonte Maddox-esque to him right now, where like you can't really rely on him in the regular season. I'm okay with it now because the team hasn't crumbled. Like, it's the best case scenario, right? You lose Harper on the IL for an extended period of time, and the rest of the team is still pretty much smooth sailing. A couple hiccups here and there, but it could be way worse without Harper. And there's no need to rush him back, which is good. So it's kind of like the best case scenario, right? He gets some break to fix up his wrist or whatnot, whatever that may be. We still really don't have Nola, I don't think, back.
No, he's all banged up, yeah.
I mean,
I forgotten about
it. So you think maybe, I'd imagine Harper will be back before the All-Star break, but there's some pieces that come back to this team that any other team would be happy to have back. It's just a matter of in what state you get them back and how the team adjusts when you do get these guys back on the team, if they're starting to gel with what they have. That's the only tough part I could see them kind of, Rob Thompson's been kind of flexible with the lineup this year from a batting standpoint, which I like. It's good. But I feel like that kind of makes it tough to, going into the playoffs, teams kind of have a regimented, like, all right, this is our hot hands here, which could be a good thing for the Phils going into the playoffs and the rest of the year to kind of have that unpredictable sort of lineup that they have here.
Nah, I mean, it's good if everyone's healthy.
Right.
But, I don't know. I'm moderately concerned about this Harper thing for a few reasons, right? He's, in his 7th year out of this 13-year deal? And, I mean, granted, some of this has been freak injuries, like the UCL tear was a freak injury. The broken thumb was a freak injury. But this wrist thing, I mean, I'm hoping it's the kind of the product of him getting banged on the elbow by that Strider pitch. But this could just be, he's 33?
This could be a new, Chase Utley's knees thing.
Right, yeah. Or, I've made this comparison before. The Phillies are kind of like the Sixers. Mm-hmm. And it's by no means as chronic as Embiid's knee, but it is starting to feel like every year, whether it be a freak injury, which a lot of Embiid's have been too now, or otherwise, Harper is always getting banged up. The difference being with the Phillies, which is why I'm not all the way there yet on them being the Sixers, is a lot of Harper's injuries are regular season, and the Phillies usually find a way to get past it. To your point, their winning percentage is roughly the same with Harper as it is without him. And, Harper generally comes back in the playoffs and does perform.
Yeah.
Up until the New York series, Embiid hadn't ever really performed like that. But, I mean, at the same time, he's still here for 6 more years. If his body's starting to break down, ugh. So, I don't know. I'm not too concerned for this season, more so concerned about the bigger picture, which...
We'll get to there when we need to cross that bridge. I think, we know the window of this team opportunity is closing, right? The nagging injuries throughout the whole team is not great. The headspace of Baum throughout the year isn't great consistently, year after year, of him getting kind of sad or mopey or just being outwardly frustrated across the team. Casty getting a little sassy of late is a bit of a thing. The team's got a lot of emotions running hot. And, I can see the next couple of years it could get pretty dicey with, Schwarber looking like we're not going to get a deal done before the end of the season. So he's a big piece. Him being hot to start the season with other guys not being super hot got us to where we are right now. If we didn't have him, we'd probably be 8-9 games back right now.
That's very true. Yeah.
We got to just kind of hope that these guys come back healthy and can fit back into the lineup and do well, because this might be their really last major shot at a World Series, given what we have right now. They haven't made any big moves, and it depends really too what the young guys do if we bring them up next season.
Yeah.
But right now, it seems like this is the last push of this core, because I don't know if they are investing.
It's probably going to be you can't imagine everyone is going to be.
A lot of these guys will probably be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Bohm, even though he's been better, I think I have a hard time seeing him being here. Schwarber, who knows what happens with that.
And they may bring him back. I just wish they did it before, it's to their benefit if he doesn't go off for, 45 more home runs or whatever, but it's just it's an interesting piece of the puzzle going into the end of the season and next year. Not that we're there yet, but just thinking ahead.
Yeah, I think we're probably looking too far into the future. I mean, I kind of took us there, but just kind of focusing on the here and now with this team. I'm also a little concerned about this Nola situation. We just signed him to 7 years?
Yeah.
And now he's spraining an ankle and it's turning into a stress fracture in his ribs. And he wasn't particularly good before the sprained ankle.
Right.
So I don't know. That's treacherous. The good news though is McAble's been solid.
Yeah, man.
Painter's probably going to be up either right before or right after the All-Star
in a few
break.
weeks.
Yeah.
He's been looking good mostly in AAA.
Could change the whole dynamic too of that, which is great. It's good to see that if they're not going to make any major moves in free agency or try to bring in other players, if they're going to start finally dipping into their, farm league and all that shit, let these young guys produce while you have that leeway leading into the playoffs and even All-Star break. It's a good spot. Even this series right now against the Marlins was a dead giveaway trap series that the Phillies love to fall into and kind of blow. And they've been holding it down so far and doing their thing. Knowing that they have a big series coming up after this against the Mets, which could be the series to determine who comes out on top of the East for a time being. But it makes for a fun 3-game, 4-game series, however long it may be.
I'm pretty sure it's 3 games, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But to your point, it's early NL East bragging rights. And also the Mets swept us, right? Mm-hmm. So we got to come back and get that ass.
You need a moral victory there. You can't keep getting embarrassed by this team. Yeah.
You come back home after getting embarrassed in New York. Come back home with the division not necessarily on the line, but for all intents and purposes, that couple stretch, it is. You don't want to get your ass beat at home again, especially after the taste you left in your mouth in the playoffs. Yeah,
right. That's the other thing. It's mentally.
Yeah.
You got beat by them in the playoffs. You got swept. It's we can beat most other teams, but this team always kicks our ass. So I kind of feel thinking ahead to that series now, the Phillies need to take 2 out of 3, not even so much for standings, vibes.
Just morale.
Yeah, just for morale as a team. And there's been some talk of Harper coming back for that series. I don't know if it happens or not. If he does, I hope he's 100%. But if he doesn't, then so be it. We've been, shouldn't say fine without him, but
who they play?
Otto Kemp's been filling in pretty admirably.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not hitting for any power, but he's getting 2, 3, 4 hits a game.
Yeah, he had that one game where he had 3 hits. He had that bunt single.
Yeah.
That, against the Cubs.
Yeah, it's been his first couple.
We had the 2 bunt singles in a row in extra innings or whatever.
His first couple games, I was dude, this guy's not a major league hitter, but he's been hitting balls in the outfield to the opposite field with a little, what do you call it, exit velo? Yeah, he's been solid. I mean, I would much rather Bryce Harper than line up him if Harper's healthy. But if Harper's not healthy, they'll keep getting some ABs.
I was going to say, even if they do sit Harper for that series, maybe bring him back on a shittier series team. But we got a pretty tough stretch coming up after this, hard, man. We're talking Mets, then we're at the Astros.
We go to the Giants.
We're at the Astros, at the Braves, and then we're home for the Padres, and then the Reds. I mean, it's a pretty...
When's the Giants? Am I making that up?
The Giants are... It's
okay.
Mets, Astros, the San Diego Padres, the Braves, the Reds, and then
then the Giants. I knew they were coming up,
but that's still a pretty hefty fucking stretch right there. Like
that's a bunch of good teams.
There's no real stretch.
The worst team in there is the Braves, who's a division rival.
There's no real easy series upcoming for Harper to slip in there like stress free. Like we're not playing the fucking A's where he can come in there and just kind of see how he feels. Like he's coming into some firepower here. But I guess you figure at home against the Mets, big game. Could be good for him, too, to get a morale boost if he hits a little dinger or two. But, yeah, man, still feel how I felt 2 weeks ago, where I think that at best this team is a kind of wild card team right now as it stands. But I think that for me, I could be confident in that for now.
Yeah, I mean...
I think baseball changes,
that's
every 2 weeks. So for right now, I'm still good with that.
It's a long season. It's never as bad as you feel like it is. It's never as good as you feel like it is. It's kind of always somewhere in between until you get to the playoffs. That's a lot of just how the season is. I mean, the Mets were doing real well, and now they've fallen on hard times. The Yankees have fallen on hard times after they were killing it earlier.
Yeah.
Even the Dodgers. The Dodgers were running away with the NL West. Now them and the Giants are basically neck and neck.
Yeah.
The Giants made that crazy trade for Devers.
Yeah.
It's baseball's such a long season.
Dude, I didn't even realize that Buster Posey was their president of baseball.
Right.
I was because I kind of wondered, I was like, whatever happened to Buster Posey? I was like, oh, that's what
I don't even think I knew he retired.
Yeah, he just kind of disappeared one day.
People were like, yeah, what a move by Buster Posey.
I remember he had that horrific injury and he was kind of never the same after that. But I didn't realize that he was pretty much running the team.
Yeah, I was watching Sunday Night Baseball the other day and they were talking about Buster Posey made quite a move. I'm like, he's playing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, he's the GM.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much just parity in baseball from not even from season to season, just from month to month within a season.
Oh yeah.
Right? Even the Nationals were they weren't good, but they were third in the NL East.
Yeah.
And they've lost 10 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to happen as a young team, this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, unless you're the Yankees who perennially are good all the time, you're subject to just whatever the hell happens in baseball, it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
And it's affecting them right now, right? So it's easy for us, Philadelphia being a big football town, to be we're going to overreact to every game because, one football game
is huge.
Is over 5% of your season in football.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas one baseball game is, I can't even do the math.
Less than 1%.
And a team as good as the Phillies, you go on a 5-6 game skid, you can make that back up if you get back into the groove. And I feel like they've been doing a good job of, you lose 6 of 7 or 8 of 9, but then they come back and they win 9 of 10 or they win 7 of 8. They haven't quite had that major kill kind of downhill turn to start the season that they have done 2 or 3 years ago. They've been finding that balance and kind of keeping their head above water, which is all right. Don't get too low, don't get too high. They've been all right.
I mean, I would say I expect them to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't changed all year. It's just a matter of where they're going to be health-wise and all this other shit going into the playoffs. Are they going to be going in strong or are they going to be limping in?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Same with every other team, too. I mean, plus now you got Shohei on the mound a little bit here and there. That's a scary sight, potentially, coming in, which is a whole different dynamic. But, I think I'm in a good spot with the Phils, and we got a long road ahead.
Yeah, we got to talk about this Casty benching. What do you make of this?
I mean, personally, I think it was soft to bench him. I mean, not knowing what he said makes it difficult.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's kind of hard to judge without knowing what he said.
Right. I mean, the guy hit a grand slam not too long ago before that, and like has been one of the hotter bats on the team. And he must have said something really fucked up to have to get benched because Rob doesn't really do that for.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a player's coach.
Yeah.
So it's like he must have said something pretty fucked up.
I wonder what he said, though.
I would have loved. We'll never know. We'll never know.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a silly move to do that.
It might be one of those things. Castellanos has been retired for 10 years where he talks about it on some random podcast.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And they've never really had any issues with Castellanos doing anything like that. Like he might present sometimes like he's got said some shit in the dugout, but
I mean he says some wild things, but not in like a negative way.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, it's not that surprising that he might fly off the handle and say something.
He's like a less deep thinker, Jalen Hurts. He's like, well, what did he say about that milk and red wine kind of shit? It's like, what the fuck? But
Yeah.
But that's what I'm used to him doing, not like being kind of snippy, which is odd. But I guess he's taken a lot of the pressure of the team. Maybe you figure with Harper being out and him moving around the lineup and being DH and stuff like that and stepping into those roles. I don't know. He must have said something bad, maybe about his wife or his mom.
Or maybe about Rojas. I don't know. Although Rojas is kind of his protege. I don't know. But, I mean, he's been ass, defensively. We even saw tonight that that foul ball he failed to catch. And it's just he is third worst in MLB with minus 10 defensive runs saved. He's among the worst in plus-minus runs saved above average with minus 7. So, on one hand, I get it, and Rob even said this. He's like, I respect the emotion that he wants to be out there every inning of every game. At the same time, Rob has to look at it as it's a close game. I got to do what's best for the team in order to get us a win. And, I don't know, Casty kind of just has to realize, you're not Ichiro Suzuki or Vladimir Guerrero Sr. in right field, man. You just got to understand, you're not the best option out there sometimes. But
the streak is what maybe rubbed me the wrong way. You're tied with Pete Rose for most consecutive starts in Phillies history, and you get benched for fucking back-talking the coach. That just, to me, is a healthy scratch to end a potential record-breaking streak.
Here's the thing,
he wasn't
right?
being that, but his defensive prowess has never been why we brought him in.
Honestly, before this happened, I didn't even know that he had that streak.
Yeah,
I kind of knew about it,
but I don't know. Do you remember who's that fucking guy on the Flyers?
Keith Yandel.
Yeah, who they were just should have been benched a million times, and
he
clearly
we're
just keeping him in to keep his Iron Man streak. And I was like, this shit does not fucking matter.
Yeah, that was infuriating.
And it's obviously, and it's just for the team, and it's I don't know. I mean, who cares? No one's ever going to beat Cal Ripken Jr.'s record.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm just saying I don't know. I don't think it should be a consideration.
That's what makes me think that it must have been a.
But the thing about it is he didn't get Rob Thompson didn't, when he sat him in the late stages of that game, he didn't say you're not playing tomorrow.
No.
He just said, I'm going to pull you and put Rojas in for defensive insurance or whatever. And then Casty's the one that mouthed off and turned it into him getting benched. If he would have just kept his mouth shut, he probably would have played and he would have still had the streak.
Yeah, of course, obviously.
I don't think it's a big deal.
I don't think it's a big deal either. I just think it was odd. That's all.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I feel also if you are a player's coach like that, it's good to be a play. I like managers that are players managers, but at some point you have to assert yourself and be you can't just fucking walk all over here. You can't just do it. This doesn't. I'm a nice guy, but don't take advantage of it.
How many times Charlie Manuel benched Jimmy Rollins? At least 3 or 4.
Oh yeah,
2 or 3 times.
You gotta put your foot down.
He didn't run out of ground ball. He was late. Yeah, Jimmy never had a problem with it. I'm pretty sure it would happen in 2008.
And Cassie doesn't sound like he's got a problem with it easy. Yeah. I think it's more the fans that are
it's absolutely just the fan base that's mad at Rob Thompson.
It wasn't a playoff game. Playoff Cassie defense is a whole different animal.
Yeah, and he would probably admit that too.
It makes no sense, but in the playoffs, he's making those catches.
Well, he had that quote when he was asked about that, where he was talking about sometimes during the regular season, I just I get start bored. Thinking about stuff out there. So I don't
and Rob would even admit, playoffs, I'll keep him in the game for a little longer.
Well, I mean, so I'm not, it is that is what it is.
No, I think it's a much ado about nothing.
Yeah, not a big deal.
The only thing is, I wish we knew what the hell he said.
That's really the entire story to me. It's like I would just die to know what it was he said. Yeah. But we shall never know, probably.
Well, I think that's all I got for the Phils, honestly.
Yeah, that's the only thing Zach Wheeler said. He's going to retire after this current contract.
He's been said that. When he first signed this contract, he said that.
Did he? I don't remember that.
Well, how much longer we got him for, though? Like 3 more?
Two more years. 37,
so 2 more years. With that. Yeah.
So that probably works out. I mean,
when he signed this contract, he said, this is going to be my last one. I want to retire by like 37.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
So, I'm not like...
He's earned the right to do whatever. You're fine, man. You got it.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. Like, he just had another kid, his 4th kid.
Damn.
He wants to, like, be able to enjoy his life, like, watching his kids grow up. I don't have a problem with that. I just hope we get him a World Series before then.
Yeah.
He's trying to hit them Phillip Rivers numbers.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a phenomenal...
got a long way to go for that.
Dude, he's still a phenomenal pitcher.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Like, he's so good, man. To be able to throw like 97, 98 and drop like crazy curveballs and sweepers, and he's got a nice splitter.
He's another fun one, too, in the playoffs. When he gets up a little uptick, too, all that adrenaline pumps up. He's hitting like 98, 99. Like shit that he hasn't done in years, but in the playoffs last year, it was just incredible to watch.
Yeah, no, I love Zach Wheeler. We just need to get him a ring. If we don't get him a ring and he retires at 37, I'll feel bad.
Nice. If we get him a ring, we'll get him a baby.
I mean, I have a feeling his wife's going to keep getting him babies one way or the other. But, hey, shout out to Zach Wheeler. But, him saying that, like, people were acting like that was a big deal earlier this week on Twitter and on, like, Instagram. Like, Zach Wheeler said he's going to retire after his next contract, or his current contract.
I mean, honestly, it kind of just solves because, if he were looking for another contract, you'd be in kind of Harry's like, I really want to give a 37. Like, right. We'd love to keep the guy, but it's like...
Which I think was part of the...
And he already stuck with Nola that he's still going to be on the team, so you're like, fuck, I wish I could have just cut that deal off and just give Wheeler another year or two, like... Would be more beneficial.
Yeah, I think Wheeler probably had that in mind. Like, I'm not going to tie them to like a 5-year deal or like I'm bad and I don't want to be around anymore.
Yeah,
because I mean, you think about it, like
we don't have another Jamie Moyer up in this bitch like throwing fucking potatoes over the fucking plate.
Hey, I mean, we won that World Series with Jamie Moyer when he was like 44 though. Now, so
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not knocking that. I'm just at the same time though. Like we lucked out once. There's no way you do that twice with another. Old head like that.
Yeah, I mean, like Roy Halladay was done by the time he was Wheeler's age.
Hitters are way different too now than they were when fucking Moore was pitching.
Yeah, Cole Hamels, like the meaningful part of his career was done by the time he was 34 or 35. So Wheeler's a special breed. He's a special gem. He deserves to go out on top. So hey, let him.
Like a true thoroughbred.
One of the best in the game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but shout out to Jamie Moyer, though, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I'll never forget him pulling the mound out.
Dude, he, didn't he, shut a team out when he was, 48 years old?
He threw a complete game shutout against the Braves.
When he was, 48?
47 or something.
Yeah.
48, yeah.
That's absurd,
he might still be the oldest. Well, maybe not. I mean, I'm sure, back in the day.
No, I think he is.
Maybe, modern
Satchel
day
Paige
baseball.
or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's true, yeah.
Maybe.
Shout out to Jamie Moyer. He was kind of from here, from Southerton, too.
Yeah. Damn, I saw him pitch in the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You were at the game with the Chooch dribbler.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Eric Brunt. I've seen 2 big Eric Bruntlett moments. It was that.
The unassisted triple play.
Yeah, I saw the unassisted triple play, and I saw Eric Bruntlett score the winning run in Game 3 of the 08 World Series.
Dude, what do you think he's up to these days?
I don't know. He's probably chilling somewhere.
Damn, we should find.
It was funny, it was always funny because he always got to be part of these huge moments because he would always just get thrown in a pinch run at the end of the games, even though he just sucked.
Get out there, man, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a.
I just remember, also the Jimmy Rollins. 2009 LCS.
Bruntlett scored the.
Bruntlett will score. Yeah. Rui is around there. Yeah.
He scored the time run in that game.
Bruntlett was a part of a lot of big moments in that run.
Damn, someone should find out what he's up to.
Yeah, who knows? He's probably coaching high school baseball or some shit somewhere.
Well, the 08 team's 20-year reunions in 3 years. Maybe he'll come around.
Yeah. They got to put him on the Wall of Fame. Have him give a big speech.
I mean, an unassisted triple play is pretty hard, but
yeah, there hasn't been that many.
I guess Mickey
Though more than I
Morandini.
thought. Like apparently, there's been like 18 of them or some shit. Like,
That is a lot.
Yeah, but
Although
for how
probably-
long?
Probably
it's
get
still
some
more
bad-
rare than like a perfect game.
That's what I was about to
True.
say. For how long
Yeah.
baseball's been around, there's been more perfect games
The
than
most
that.
I was watching something like the most rare one is the 2 grand slams in one inning. That's only been
The
done once by
Fernando
Fernando
Tatis Sr.?
Yeah, only ever been done once.
I feel like immaculate innings are pretty rare.
Those
too.
are very rare too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are up there. Yeah, only been done a few times.
The 4 home run game, that's pretty rare. I think that's only been done like 5 or 6 times. Yeah, baseball's a crazy sport. Anyway, what do we want to move to now? Flyers, Sixers.
Little draft.
Yeah.
One of the pick your poison.
I can maybe touch on the Flyers, then end with the Sixers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. Flyers. Danny Briere talked to the media.
Did you see
I didn't
any of
watch
that,
the
or-
actual one. I saw the highlights, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't think we really learned much.
Are they holding
from
it
that.
down
It's-
at 6?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to trade out of
Yeah.
that. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's very hard to trade up, and they're definitely not going to trade that pick for a player where they are. So, like, they're definitely going to get a player at 6. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he just said, like, we're planning on picking the best available, blah, 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 just all the things that you say. Like, depends on how the board falls. He played it close
He's
to the
being
vest.
very-
He
very-
didn't really say much.
Very bland GM jargon.
Nah,
Yeah.
man. I think they're taking a center. He kind of leaned into that. Here's what he said, yo. He said, what'd he say? Calling around the league and finding centers, it's almost impossible. And you're not going to find a first or second line center. A lot of teams will be willing to entertain a fourth line center moving a fourth line guy, but they'll want a second line winger in return. So yeah, he basically said, yeah, if we're trying to get our 1 or 2C, we're not going to probably get that in a trade. In free agency, this isn't the year they overpay for one in free agency. If they don't get one, then certainly next year, or the following year, maybe they do. But that kind of sounds to me like it's a center heavy draft. We've been saying this for a while. I think that they
I mean,
recognize
there should be a good center available to them at 6.
just whether it's the guy that they want.
Yeah.
I mean, or best available.
Yeah, I mean the only way I could see them picking a non-center would be if like Porter Martone fell.
Which he's nice. Yeah.
I mean if he was there at 6, I would definitely take him. Like I'm sorry, like I know whole centers I know centers are hard to get, but that upside, I would definitely snag him. But I feel like my bet, assuming that he's gone, I think. Seems like Deontay is climbing up these mock drafts.
I don't like him very much.
I mean, he's like seems like a very good all around player, very smart, high hockey IQ.
The
all that
upside
kind
just
of stuff.
isn't that high.
I guess what they're saying about him is that he kind of does everything really well, but he doesn't have like any particular thing where he's like an elite at. You know what I mean? He's like
A
kind
jack
of like
of all trades, but an expert at none.
He's like a Sean Couturier, basically.
That's
Which
what
like
I
Sean
wrote in my
Couturier won a
notes.
Selke, so I mean that's not the worst thing in the world. Like if the Flyers drafted another Sean Couturier, that'd be pretty fucking great, to be honest. But yeah, I mean I would love. I mean pretty much any of those second tier guys I'd be happy with. Frondell is interesting. The only thing
Frondell's
is
my guy. I think is who I want.
the iffy part is like if he's going to be able to stick at center. If you're like concerned about
what?
centers,
If he doesn't, then he becomes a great winger, which is what you would get in
has a great
Martone
shot.
anyway.
Great shot, good physicality. Yeah, so I definitely would not mind Frondell. I would love it if Hagen's dropped.
Yeah, I have that in my
I'm kind
notes.
of big on him. I'm kind of big on him. Like I love the idea of having a really nice playmaker to play with Mishkov.
I don't see him falling. I could see him going like 3rd or 4th.
Maybe.
To be honest, but no, I mean at the end of the day, the Flyers will get someone good. I really do kind of hope that it's Frondell. right? Like Frondell's upside is just through the roof. Like he could do it all, dude. Like he can score. He's a solid defensive player. And like he gives you that like hard nose play. That
and he's been doing it in a professional league, like not juniors. He's been playing in like
he's been playing with grown men.
The fucking I forget what it's called now, the Swedish league.
Do I have it in here?
They changed the name of it a couple years ago.
I don't think I have it in here.
I forget. It's a weird.
I ain't gonna know it.
but yeah, I would love. Yeah, if they got Frondell, I would love that. I would love Hagens. I would love Bartone. Deaune, I'd be into. Maybe not the sexy pick, not exciting. But,
I would be fine with it if he's the best of the guys left. But I mean, I don't know, like I don't think he's gonna be there. I think people really like him. I think he's gonna be gone. I kind of hope he is, but his ceiling is like an Alexander Barkov type, right? Which would be awesome. Like, the guy's won a couple Stanley Cups in a row, but like I don't know, his floor is kind of like a 2C that gives you like 40 or 50 points, which Coots was better than that in his prime, right? So I don't know.
Yeah,
I just can't. Plus, his brother's already in the organization. That's bad energy. I mean, we don't need that big brother, little brother energy. We don't need that. It's like,
sounds to me,
his brother's probably never going to be on the team.
Nah, his brother's kind of butt, dude. But
yeah.
Sounds to me that like they're gonna make a safe pick. I'm not gonna lie, just based off what you guys are all saying. I don't think they're gonna be crazy.
The Flyers love to go off script though with this shit.
Well, that's the thing is like if they are making a safe pick, I'd be totally fine with that because that means they're going to get one of those 4 guys.
Right? Yeah.
So that would be fine with I guess the concern is if they do go
sexy pick
quote off the board,
right?
Well, what they did last year with Luchenko, which could work out.
Yeah, but Zeev Boyum has been pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
it's kind of like ugh. Yeah, I just gotta hope that Luchenko keeps. He has been a lot better than expected. I would say that, but
yeah, he's 19. Like he was 18 years old last year. Yeah, he still has time to like mature. But yeah, that's the thing I'm afraid of. Is like we're all sitting here talking about Martone and Denoyer and what do you call it? Frondell, Hagens, right? And like they're gonna be like, "No, we're not taking any of those guys."
They could be like,
"We're taking
Brady
this guy."
Martin, maybe like
which he's kind of a Flyers guy, I think.
Yeah,
like he kind of like has that like plays the right way, like Broad Street Bully type energy.
Yeah, but I also feel like they're a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if they still had that kind of mindset, then they wouldn't have picked. They wouldn't have picked Luchenko. They maybe wouldn't have been all in on Michkov if they were still thinking that way.
I feel like Michkov was a different situation, though.
Yeah, he was just a guy that slipped to them.
Right. That's
like a very fortunate. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to think that Briere is a little bit more forward minded than that, but it also wouldn't shock me if they picked Brady Martin. I mean,
Or what do you call? Not Jake O'Brien.
Jake O'Brien.
He seems like better than Jay O'Brien, but that's a low bar to clear. But still, like that would be a reach at 6 at this point. Name. I feel like
at least he's not Nick O'Brien. You know.
Yeah, Nick O'Brien, that bitch. He ain't listening to the pod. We can berate him all we want. He ain't come on a post Hoagie Crawl episode because we don't want to have him on because he doesn't listen to the pod. He doesn't support us. He doesn't support his boys. Whatever. He's not a Nick O'Brien. That's good. That's a great point. But anyway, what was the other thing I wanted to talk about with the Flyers? Oh, the Panthers won.
Yeah,
Panthers win the cup. That kind of sucks, dude.
Yeah, man. Back to back. A Florida team.
Yeah.
Florida's won what? For the last 6, 7? Like what? the Lightning
one.
With
the Lightning. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's ass, dude.
That's kind of funny, though, to me that the one state that you would expect hockey to be the least like.
No Canada team has
back.
won since the 1990s.
It is funny that the Canada team
lost to
got
Florida
beat consecutive times by Florida.
Yeah,
that is funny.
Hysterical.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
It's like that's just fucked up.
nah,
If I'm Canadian, I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
yeah, losing
That's bad.
to goddamn Florida, Brad Marchand. That did make me angry. I was watching the game last night, and he was talking. It's like, what the hell, man?
I didn't even really watch the past 2 games.
I had it on. Like,
I've been binging Andor.
That just came out?
The second season finished up recently. I just finished it. We finished it last night. But dude, it's so fucking good.
Oh yeah.
I would definitely recommend
I would watch that.
checking that out.
There was more action than the hockey game last night. That shit was butt.
But
dude.
yeah, Florida, man, it's almost comical, to be honest with you.
Yo, I tell you what though, it's like, hold up. If like you learn anything from watching Florida win 2 in a row, what you learned?
I learned that if you have a promising young goalie, you should not trade him away.
Yep, should have kept Bob, dude.
I learned that you should hire Bill Zito instead of Chuck Fletcher. You know, those would have been good moves
Yeah.
for the Flyers.
Damn it! Imagine if we would have kept Bob. Yeah, this was wild, dude. I was watching the game last night, and they straight up showed Boucher, like, because Boucher does like the sideline or the whatever you want to call it for TNT, and they had Boucher on. And they're like, Boucher, you were teammates with Bob in his rookie year, and then they showed a clip of both of them warming up in Flyers gear. Oh God, it made me sick to my stomach.
That's the closest they'll get to a Stanley Cup.
Oh my God,
Stanley Cup stage in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob's like, he's like a Hall of Fame level goalie at this point.
He is a Hall of Fame
He's
goalie.
won
Honestly,
Yeah.
2 cups.
Two cups. When we,
he's a Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame.
no, should have kept.
Wild.
No, it's agonizing. But the other thing, like, that this has kind of taught me, man, it's like, yeah, you can have really skilled players. Like, you can have 2 of the best, like, 10 players in hockey in Draisaitl and McDavid. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, if you have a big, strong, physical, well-coached team, together ants can overcome and kill the ox, right?
Yeah, that
Like, Florida has
also
good players, don't get me wrong, but they don't. Like, Barkov's very good. Sam Bennett, Sam Reinhart, these are good players. Like, Bob Roski, we just said, is a Hall of Famer. But, like, I mean, none of them, I don't think any of them are on McDavid, Draisaitl level. It just doesn't matter. You build a team with depth, with a bunch of good players, like, you're going to win.
especially in the playoffs, so you kind of need that. And, I mean, the thing that really killed Edmonton was that they, over the offseason, they really neglected their goaltending situation. And
we had Cal Pickard.
Cal Pickard was,
Pickard played all right, though.
He did, yeah. And he was like on the Flyers in that season where we had like 10 different goalies.
Right.
And he was playing in the Stanley Cup Finals with Connor McDavid. Like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. I mean, I will say, like, you don't necessarily need like an elite goaltender to win a cup. I mean, back when fucking in 2010 when the Blackhawks beat us, they did it with Anthony Niemi, who was by no means he was like decent, but he was by no means a world beater of a goaltender.
We made it to the Stanley Cup with Michael Leighton,
yeah.
right?
So it's like, but you can't just assume that you're gonna get that,
Yeah, I think they kind of just figured. Although also their hands are probably tied a little bit by the salary cap. But it's like, yeah, we have these 2 studs. Let's just see what
it's
happens.
just so hard to make. I mean, it's so hard to put a team together. Like, I mean, if you look at the Panthers, they just had a lot of moves that have worked out for them.
Yeah,
That very easily could have blown up in their face, but they didn't. I mean, they traded away like Huberdeau. They signed. I mean, you signed like Sam Reinhart, who was like pretty solid player in Buffalo, but then he just
he's been
blows up in fucking Florida. So it's just like everything just like really worked out for them, which like good for them. Maybe maybe they do just have like amazing scouts and knew this all their acquisitions were going to work out the way they did. I don't know, but
I don't want to give a hockey team in Florida that much goddamn credit. They got lucky.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, man. I mean, as from a Flyers perspective, it's like, yeah, hopefully Sevrag and Bjarnason, one of them. is that stud goalie, and we don't do some dumb shit,
It's
dude.
bragging, baby.
It's like the
Russians.
goaltending makes such a big difference. It's after quarterback, it's the second most important position in pro sports, I would dare say. Right? What's more important than that?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a large part of the game.
you gotta stop the puck from going in.
Yeah.
Like, plenty of teams have won with mediocre quarterbacks, plenty of teams have won with mediocre goalies, but you can only help your chances if you have that guy, dude.
You got a stud
Yeah.
goalie, you're looking pretty good.
Right? And, like, yeah, if we get in, like, we thought we had that guy in Carter Hart, but he had to go be an asshole and a creep and a rapist or whatever. And, yeah, we have some prospects that we hope end up being that next guy, but once we find him, man, we can't let another Bob slip through our fingers. Like, shout out to him. I was happy to see him get another ring. But at the same time, I was just like, damn, the one that got away.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Zavragan. You know, that's the one. I mean, a lot's been said about how the Flyers have kind of had this advantage with the Russian players because a lot of other teams are kind of afraid to touch them because they don't really. They're not like because
The relationship isn't really built there.
Yeah, well, because ever since the Ukraine invasion, like Russia's been banned from all these international tournaments or whatever. So most of these teams don't really have eyes on these players, but the Flyers have like a guy over there. So like we've been like, no, I'm serious, but like
I know, but it's just kind of funny.
We've had like a lot more confidence to take these guys. So like that's like why we got Mishkov.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we got Fedotov, even though it didn't work out.
Yeah,
but then the more you get, the more it's probably incentive for other Russians to want to come to Philly. Now they're like, oh, I got these guys
and
here.
So
yeah,
it's kind of become like a weird little competitive advantage. So like I don't know, maybe this World War III thing breaks out.
Yeah.
It might be able to keep that going.
Yeah, man.
Keep snagging these good Russian players.
We got the new fucking
I mean,
the new steel curtain.
There's that dude Shabanov that's been rumored to sign here.
Yeah, I saw
Maxim
that. Although a bunch of organizations have been interested in him.
There was like one day the rumors just went wild. It was like there was some report at some weird media outlet.
It was
in
the
Russia
same things we followed from Mishkov.
Yeah,
it was the same shit.
He's going to be in Philadelphia, and everyone's going nuts. And then it was like, no, nothing's confirmed. And now, who knows? But yeah, we'll see how that goes.
But it was
That'd
also
be exciting.
Kind of similar with Mishkov, where like we had his rights, but we didn't know when he was going to come over, and then just like, he's coming over. It might be a surprise like that. Now, can Shabanov? Would we have to draft him?
No, he'd just be a free agent. So,
wow, okay.
Yeah, they would just sign him to like that's the thing. It would be like a super low risk. It would just be
say fuck it, dude.
They would just sign him to a 1-year deal. Yeah, it's just a matter of where he wants to go.
I mean,
like, does he want to come to Philly or Vegas?
Him and Mishkov are boys, I think, right?
They have some. They've played
I
together
shouldn't say they're boys, but they have familiarity with one another.
Yeah.
Which, teams that don't have a lot of Russian players, and certainly not Russian players his age, don't have that advantage.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. He's a forward, right?
Yeah,
he's small. He's a small winger. Damn, so imagine...
Yeah, he's kind of like undersized, but he's like very skilled. Like,
imagine you have him on one wing, Mishkov on the other, and Frondell in the middle. Damn, dude. We'd be set for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
That would be wild. Although those probably wouldn't be the lines. Like, you'd probably have Konechny. Whatever. I'm getting way ahead of things.
Yeah.
we got to let the draft happen and free agency happen. We'll see.
Yeah. But
the draft is what, next week?
Yeah.
Next Friday.
Yeah, we got the NBA draft next Wednesday, Thursday, and the hockey draft next Friday, Saturday.
So did we get the pod right in between that, right before all that?
Well, Trevor's going to be gone.
Yeah,
you're going to be in Maine.
I'm going to be Maine. I'm not going to be around next week.
It's going to be hot. Well, it should be less hot.
It'll be nice up there.
Yeah,
it will be hot here. You'll have to figure out what we're going to do for next week's pod.
Eating all them oysters.
We should bring someone on the... Well, we can figure that offline. You'll be eating shit ton of oysters. Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Freeport Oyster Fest.
You sound like me over there.
Freeport Oyster Fest.
Hell yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, dude.
Jealous for sure.
Eating some lobster.
Gonna spend like a day in Portland, Maine.
Mm-hmm.
Eating some Atlantic cod. Yeah,
hell
you're
yeah,
gonna be
dude.
chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Are you renting a car?
No, we're just driving our car.
Oh, word. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What is that? Like an 8-9 hour drive?
It's like 9 hours. Yeah, if I remember from Caravan, it was like 9
well,
hours.
Caravan was farther north. That was like 10 and a half.
Oh, yeah, it was probably like 9 hours.
Where are you going after Portland? Any more further north at all, or that's it?
No, it's just like it's just like a weekend.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
So
Yeah.
be in Freeport and then Portland for like, a day or whatever.
You going to the beach?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, you got to check out those main beaches.
Yeah.
I never seen one.
We're doing
It's
a
kind of
little
rocky. They're not like a.
We're doing like a little boat tour thing, like a oyster farm tour. I mean,
Can you
go on
catch
a
the
boat.
oyster?
They give us
Can you
like
get
lobster rolls and shit.
Do you get to keep the oysters?
Is there a
I don't
word
know.
for?
I'm sure they give you some oysters.
What's the word for fish and oysters?
The what?
What the?
Like,
what do you mean? What's the word?
Like
What the abundance is?
you know how like when you go to catch a catfish with your hands, called like noodling or whatever.
I have no idea.
There's got to be like a word for like the
to catch an oyster
like
with your
the
hand.
act of like I'm going crabbing, I'm going fishing. If I want to
going-
get oysters, I'm going
Hoisting. I don't know. That's corny as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be some word for it.
Anyway, just throwing it out there. We'll look it up when you get out there.
Yeah.
Report
Meantime,
back.
we'll be recording a pod.
Hot
A
as
post-draft,
butt ass
pre-
naked. It's gonna be hot.
Pre-draft pod. That might be a Zoom pod, actually.
It'll be
We'll
a
see.
naked pod.
Yeah.
I got to do 3 shots into 99 bananas. Y'all didn't hold me to this. So I said if the
For
6...
what?
Or no, I said 2. I said when the draft lottery hit, I said this, right? I said if the Sixers kept their pick, I would do 1 shot. If they got the 3rd pick, I would do 2. If they got the 2nd pick, I'd do 3. If they got the 1st, I'd do 4. So they got the 3rd pick. So I have to do 2 shots before the draft. Or I guess it'll be after the draft, right? No.
Well, if
Draft's
it's on the
on
pod,
Wednesday.
Yeah, it'll
you
be
could do
after
it.
the draft.
We could do the pod on Wednesday.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
see.
figure
But
that
anyway, speaking of the NBA draft,
Yeah, here we go. Sixers on the clock.
Sixers.
Y'all done your research? Or am I
Yeah.
just going to be sitting here talking?
No,
to
no, no,
myself?
I did
Nah,
my-
man, look,
I did my research.
I did some extensive research on the new hot name, VJ Edgecombe. And by that, I mean, before I walked over here, I watched a video on YouTube called
What'd you think?
10 minutes of VJ Edgecombe dunks from the 2024-25
Oh, you can't
season.
just watch his dunks.
Hell
But
yeah.
it was sick.
Hell yeah.
He can dunk.
I was
on-
like, damn.
My
I'm
man
on
can
Trevor's
jump.
side then. Let's draft his ass.
He can throw down some sick dunks. He's from the Bahamas, which is kind of cool.
Sick. Now we got Rihanna coming to games.
You know who the last player we had from the Bahamas was?
Who?
Jaleel Okafor.
Buddy Hield.
Mm.
Look how that
Oh.
turned out.
Although I liked Buddy though.
He was bad
He
in
had
the
that-
Sixers uniform.
Yeah, that one really great.
Against the Knicks in Game 6 when he went off.
Yeah, he
it
was
wasn't
truly
enough, but-
hot or MIA. But I always I just like his name was Buddy.
Buddy.
Nah.
Like a little golden retriever out there just being all happy and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, Buddy Hield was all right. But yeah, I'm sorry. I cut you all off about VJ.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't do any
I mean,
research.
look, I don't like. He seems like a very athletic shooting guard, and I guess like I did look at a little more into like Ace Bailey, and I feel like I'm kind of where you were last time we
I
spoke.
told you I
was
had a nightmare.
There's just too wide of a range of outcomes that scares me. Like, because it's like, yeah, you watch like his highlights and he can pull off these nice looking shots and stuff, but then the like in between, it's just like he looks kind of lost on defense sometimes. He just like doesn't seem like he seems like he's a guy that has a lot of potential, but would need a lot of coaching. And is not he's like the type of player that you'd pick if you're like really putting together a team from scratch.
Right, yeah.
I don't think he's someone that you're taking if you already have like Maxey and I mean, who the fuck knows what's happening with the rest of these guys on this team? But
I mean, McCain, Maxey.
McCain, yeah, but he just I don't know, just too much room for disappointment there, to feel comfortable picking him.
I feel like that means he fits right in though.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
like-
I feel like
Yeah, for all the
for
wrong
sure would.
reasons, yeah.
yeah.
But nah, like, apparently he was saying, like, they did, like, combine interviews and they got released. Apparently his combine interview was basically him, like, in a nutshell saying he wants to go somewhere where he can be the star. That ain't happening here.
No.
You got a former MVP who, like, certainly isn't what he used to be. You got a future Hall of Famer in Paul George, and you have an all-star in Maxey and a soon-to-be all-star in McCain. Dude, you're playing 5th or 6th fiddle here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you ain't getting that here. So yeah, there was that whole thing. And then also, man, just like kind of watching like not even his highlights, but just like people break down his tape. Doesn't really do a whole lot for me. He can shoot, which is great. Like if he was gonna come here and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be the Black Kyle Korver. Like, okay, like yeah, sign me up for that. If you're just gonna come off screens and bomb threes and shoot 10 threes a game, that's great, but he doesn't want to do that.
But we've seen that too before and got burnt.
What, the Black Kyle Korver?
No, trying to be like, oh, this guy's a great shooter coming out of college, and they come here, and then it's like, oh, now they lose their shot, and they can't do it.
Yeah, we saw that with Fultz, yeah.
No, yeah, we haven't yet seen the Black Kyle Korver yet on the Sixers, I don't think.
Nah, I don't. Who would the Black Kyle Korver be? Oh, Trey Johnson's more of a scorer. That's kind of who I want the Sixers to take. But Ace Bailey, he can go somewhere else. Apparently, a lot of mocks had him going to like 5th or 6th now. Damn. So this like combine interview, he really tanked his value.
Damn, about to be Shadur Sanders over here.
Yeah, he'll still get drafted.
He got drafted?
Like, the 6th round?
Yeah, long.
Yeah, that's not really a thing.
They're in 6 rounds in the NBA.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as far as VJ's concerned, I came around on him a little bit. Like the first time we recorded, we were talking about prospects. I was saying how he's just another guard that can't shoot. And largely, that probably still is kind of true. Like, certainly off the dribble, my man can't shoot. But apparently catch and shoot threes, like if you put him in the corner or like above the break and you pass him a ball, he can make a three. And like you said, his athleticism, his ability to dunk and play defense or run a fast break, there's a lot to like about him. And I think the thing the Sixers like a lot is that similar to Maxey, similar to McCain, he's just a hard worker. Like, no one knows what the hell my man's ceiling is, but whatever it is, he's going to reach it. Like, that's what people would say about Hurts. Mm-hmm. And Hurts' ceiling was, I'm a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, VJ still probably wouldn't be my pick.
What's your gut say and what's your head say? Are they on the same page, or do you have two different?
The reporting kind of says that it's going to be VJ. Like, he's... Mm-hmm. They brought him in for a workout. Apparently, Maxey went to watch his workout, and when they like took him out to dinner and Maxey was there, they wouldn't be doing all that if they weren't like, yeah, we love this guy, and certainly don't think that he goes 1 or 2. So yeah, I think that's where my gut is. What I would love for them to do, this might be me being kind of a contrarian, is Trey Johnson, the shooting guard from Texas. Dude, I watched like a bunch of like his film breakdowns and like people talking about his tape. This dude is a baller, man. He's like, I don't even know who I compare him to. People are saying like Ray Allen.
Damn.
Like he can bomb threes from like 30 feet in college. It's wild, but he's so bad defensively that people are like turned off on him. I say fuck it. I mean, if the Sixers were close to contending, I'd be like, all right, let's get the guy like that fits in right now. Let's be honest.
They're not.
They're not. You watch these NBA finals, man. This team is very far from contending.
They're too slow.
Exactly.
Like just physically slow.
So yeah, like get a couple ballers in here that can shoot, can score, and figure the rest out. I don't think they're going to take Trey Johnson. I think it is going to be VJ, which I would be okay with. But dude, like look him up, dude. Trey Johnson, this guy is a hooper. But it's probably not going to happen.
Well, they might surprise you. Who knows?
Definitely
not a trade out. Definitely not trading.
Well, that's the other thing that could happen is they could trade up. There was that rumor that was floating around last week saying they reached out to the Spurs about trading up for Dylan Harper.
Because it's the Spurs. Who's two?
No, it's Dallas as
Dallas,
one. They're already taking Cooper Flagg. They would be foolish not to.
Dallas, Spurs, us. All right. And
the Spurs, I said this before, they're not a great landing spot for Dylan Harper. They already have, 2 guards? I think they have 2 or 3 guards already that kind of are not totally similar to him, but would occupy a lot of the same space and have similar skill sets. Whereas like the Sixers, we could use a big guard that probably doesn't have the best jump shot that can do everything else. Because Max and McCain are small guards that can do a lot, but they're not big. Right? So I don't know what it would take to trade up, but if the Sixers could trade up for Dylan Harper, or for 2 and draft Dylan Harper, That would be the best outcome. Better than getting VJ, better than Trey Johnson. That would be the best, but we'll see. Damn, y'all didn't do no other research. Okay. Well, I guess I'm doing a solo pod
good.
next week.
Nah, I'm into it for draft day. I get hyped for draft day and all that, but I try.
Whatever. Anyway, what do you think of these finals? We didn't even really talk about this 2 weeks ago when the finals first started.
I think it's a great finals. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, until like this Halliburton thing.
Yeah. I saw that video. That one, this doctor guy, slows it down and shows
my guy.
Shows it the muscle leg of what he sees could potentially be happening.
Dude, his Achilles seems like it could snap if he
He got that weird. Yeah, something's not well at all with his foot, and he made the same move that arguably Tatum and.
That's what I'm saying, KD.
And what's it called? The guy from Milwaukee.
Dame
did, where he makes that quick jump and you see the whole leg give out a little bit, but not as severe because he got back up and played a little bit. But him not having any points in the first quarter too, mixed up with that injury, if he goes down or isn't 100%, they're fucked.
Dude, well, I saw something after game 1 or 2 that said he was dealing with lower calf soreness, and I'm like, yeah, that's what they said about KD. Then the next game he tore his Achilles. And I've been surprised this whole series Halliburton's Achilles hasn't snapped yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it doesn't.
I mean, the team still play. He's an interesting kind of leader of the team because he could still find a way for his team to win without putting up a lot of points. He's a good facilitator of the game. He
has to put up something, though.
His problem is he might do that shit playing defense because he's a really aggressive defender.
Yeah. And he's hopping and running around.
You don't see the Achilles tear a lot on defensive plays, right? It's usually when someone's trying to cut someone out or whatever, but they need Siakam to put up another kind of 30, 40-point game like he did against the Knicks against OKC next time.
They need TJ McConnell to dominate, yo. He was dominating again that last game.
Yeah, he was.
But
still lost.
TJ's dominance will only get you so far, though.
The reason why he stopped is because they pulled him out of the game.
Yeah, but my only point though is that TJ's. I'm not gonna lie, TJ has been. Trust me, I've been seeing the same shit. He has been incredible this whole series. But if Halliburton is 50%, you need.
Well, no, if Halliburton's 50%, they're going regardless. Yeah,
but you need Siakam or anybody else to be out there doing their shit. I mean, TJ has been going nuts.
Yeah, dude, the last game he came in and he scored a couple buckets. I'm like, he's got that look. Mm-hmm. Then I texted the chat. I'm like, TJ's dominating. Then he just went off, dude. He had 15 points in the quarter.
Yeah, between his blocks and steals and shit too. He's like a little squirrel out there.
That was funny. He made what he thought was a 3. It was a long 2. And then he starts screaming at the bench, "You have to guard me! You have to guard me!" TJ's the man, dude. Shout out to him.
We were there for his triple-double game.
Were we? I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't remember the TJ or?
Oh, I think I vaguely. I was there for so many other Sixers moments. That one kind of slipped through the cracks, but I think I was there. Yeah,
I remember being there for the.
TJ's the man, dude.
A cheap deal too. Could have kept him, honestly.
Yeah, we should have kept him. In hindsight, that was the one that got away.
Yeah,
we needed a backup point guard for so many years.
He's a locker room solidifier too. I feel like he's a good guy to have on a team in general. Yeah.
Nah, he's one of the best backup point guards in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's wild. Yeah. It's funny, and his sister's kind of cute.
Yeah, I mean, I think she got injured, if I'm not mistaken.
Weak ass legs, but yeah, man, TJ's been doing his thing. It's been nuts to see.
Yeah. I mean, if TJ doesn't win, Isaiah Joe does. Even though Isaiah Joe hasn't done shit.
Mm-mm.
Yo, I didn't realize. I forgot Tony Bradley was on the Pacers.
Oh, shit.
Tony Bradley was getting some run the other night. I was like, damn, this guy. He actually looked all right, too. Bunch of former Sixers all up and down the NBA.
It's a shame. I really want the Pacers to pull it off, too. OKC, they're a great team. I'm not going to be upset if they win. That, I feel like, is just kind of what's going to happen here. But the Pacers just have such a fun style of play. Any given day, You're seeing.
And they've had like such a fun run.
Yeah.
Right, it's just all the magic in their run.
It's just like it just feels like they've had that team of destiny vibe to them this whole playoffs.
To go out with Halliburton getting hurt would just be such an ass way to go out. You know, like you want to see Halliburton shoot that last shot with 1 second left, down by 2, shooting a deep 3, lose it that way, but don't lose it with him kind of being on a bum leg and just getting fucking shellacked at home or whatnot.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's probably what we're headed towards. I mean, even if he can play, he's going to be so ineffective.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so ineffective the last game.
Right. Or go balls deep and then blow his leg out and then you win the game and then you go back to OKC. You ain't beating them in OKC.
You're getting smoked by 40 in OKC. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it sucks.
But two unassuming... Not unassuming teams, but it's just funny that both those markets are what's...
two tiny-ass markets.
Oklahoma versus, what the fuck, Indiana? Yeah.
Indianapolis, basically, yeah.
That's just funny. Battle of the Midwest. But great series, albeit.
Yeah, no, it's been a fantastic series.
I think it's been
I've enjoyed a lot of these, pretty much every game, other than, I guess, game 2, like, there was a lot of intrigue in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like, even this last game, the Pacers got within 2. In what was it, game 5? They got within 2, like midway through the fourth quarter. Then they just shit all over themselves. But
I mean, it even started off hot. Didn't the Pacers snag the first game too? In the fourth
that was that crazy game. Where another game where Halliburton made some bonkers shot.
Yep. So it's just been fun to see those moments happen. And I think the NBA kind of like, although I think the numbers are down though, technically in terms of finals viewership, which kind of makes sense.
I would assume so.
They're generally down more and more every year, but I mean, this year's been like great to watch. Last year I didn't watch because I didn't want to see the Celtics win. Fuck that.
Nah, fuck that. Mm-hmm.
But like this year, it's been like, oh, okay. Like these are 2 very young, exciting teams. It's an intriguing brand of basketball. Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, you got the process of what could have been for the Sixers if they didn't fuck with us, and then you have the team of destiny, like Trevor said. So it's a good match.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah, so I guess, have y'all learned anything about like basketball? I guess we kind of already talked about it. It's getting younger. Like watching the finals. Like you see these 2 young ass teams that play fast, run.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because I feel like it's younger, it's faster, which we all kind of knew when the Sixers would get in the playoffs because we just couldn't keep up. We always looked gassed or tired, injuries or not, right? And I also think that like the whole like adage of live by the 3, die by the 3, these teams play a lot in the paint, which is equally as exciting. Like it's fun to see someone drive in there. Like you're watching fouls happen. You're watching bonus actually be meaningful, not like, kind of just be a stupid ass foul. Like these teams don't want to get fouled, but they're also playing very aggressive ball. And the refs are letting them play.
It is crazy.
It's kind of reminiscent of like a older version of basketball, which is kind of sick.
Yeah, what was it? Game 4, OKC won. They had like 3 threes for the whole game. They made 3 threes.
Yeah.
And they only had 10 assists. It was like a bunch of ISO and just free throw style basketball. It was some 90s ass basketball.
Which is fun to see. I mean, I think that's been the most interesting thing to watch in this series is just that brand of basketball. It's not just, I mean, I love watching Steph hit a 3 to kill team or whatever, and you like to see Halliburton do that as well in the last second of the game to seal the deal. But it's been equally as fun to see a guy like TJ fucking slice through a defense, go right into the paint, fucking put one in there. Like
fun.
And they do it on both sides. Williams on OKC doing the same shit.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot a ton of threes.
No.
Neither does SGA, really.
No.
Yeah.
And they come in there, and the fucking camera now being right where the fucking box is, too, where the net is.
Yeah.
Watching all their facial expressions and everything coming in. Like, it's kind of cool.
You get the finals, budget bump where they have all these extra cameras and stuff. Yeah.
It's like watching a dog jump into a pool trying to catch a fucking tennis ball, and you see the camera's right where the ball's at. Everyone's like doing all weird shit. But that's what I've learned in this series.
Trevor, what do you got?
What have I learned?
Yeah, have you learned anything about team building or like basketball?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Not really. To be honest, I haven't watched the last 2 games.
What you watched?
I've been watching Andor, dude.
No, what you watched of the basketball?
I mean, I watched I guess I don't know. What was it? The first 3 games of the series. and then I kind of just fell off.
Yeah, all right.
I think that makes sense. I mean, it happens. It's like you get enough. It's like me watching the Stanley Cup. I watched one game. I'm like, all right.
Stanley Cup looked very promising at first, and then it kind of got away. Then it just kind of got away from the Oilers.
Yeah.
But I think having watched the Pacers the last 2 series that they played, knowing what could be when they play, I'm like, I gotta it's kind of like.
No, you never know when you're going to see some crazy comeback.
Even when they're down by 15, 13, 10.
This game the other night, they were down like 20 points. They got it within 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Can't count them out.
All right. Well, I guess from the men's Indiana team, I guess we have to talk about this Caitlin Clark shit.
Who's that?
Did y'all see
never
this?
heard of her.
It's like we were talking about this. Y'all seen this?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fight. Well, the brawl. Or
she got quote unquote assaulted. I seen people on Reddit saying like, how the hell are people allowed to assault her?
They should press charges.
Yeah.
That was not
Put that woman in jail.
Dude,
bullshit.
People are too sensitive to anything that happens to her.
Yeah. I also think this all just comes down to bad refereeing. I think the refs
don't get me wrong,
are horrible.
Yeah.
They cannot control the game. And that's pretty much where all this comes from. I don't know. I mean, we were talking before how Caitlin Clark does talk a lot of shit, which I love. Like, that's great. And then she gets it back and blah blah blah. But if she gets decked like that, there probably should be some some enforcement from the refs.
Right.
And that doesn't happen. That's a problem. But I do feel like most of the real issue for me is just the refereeing. It's just bad.
It's just a lack of repercussions. There's no, every game she plays in, if she starts popping off or starts jawing off with some other chick, she gets fucked up inevitably in the game. So still drop 30, but then there's no fines, there's no suspension, there's no they don't really do anything.
Yeah, I think
which is fine. I mean, I'm cool. Whatever, it's good. It's good TV. It's great basketball, and she kind of, that's her bag. She loves doing that shit.
Yeah.
If she knows she's under your skin, she's gonna fucking bury you, talk all the shit she wants, poke you a little bit throughout the game, and then piss you off so much that your teammates will also fight you.
Yeah. I mean, as far as that whole commotion that happened last night against the Connecticut Sun was concerned, I was on Reddit and people were like, why are people coming at her? She's innocent. She didn't do anything to deserve this. If you watch the game, she was talking plenty of shit.
Yeah, I don't believe. Yeah. I'm not on
that. Her stands frustrate me because in their eyes, she does no wrong.
Yeah,
it's she talks plenty of shit, and every now and again, when you talk shit, you have to expect people to come back at you. So. And then the other thing people don't realize is her and the girl that poked her in the eye, they've been rivals since
college. Yeah,
Big Ten rivals right there.
So
I know that.
They have beef going back a ways, right? So that it isn't this just bubbled over because Caitlin Clark's in the WNBA killing it. This girl's been bitter for years, and to be honest, Caitlin Clark kind of shoved her first in an early altercation.
They were going back and forth before that. Before she said, you can't do whatever.
Yeah,
she goes, I'll do whatever the fuck I want, which is fine. But
then Caitlin Clark shoves her.
Well, they were both kind of getting a little physical before that.
Well, that's because I mean, we could watch every highlight of their college tape.
But Caitlin Clark has been literally the same shit talker and aggressive player she is now as she was in college. People didn't touch her at all back then because it was college, and I think the refs were arguably probably a little more better and more strict in the in NCAA, but. You go to WNBA, and I don't think they're used to this kind of attention or kind of showmanship or whatever whatever you want to call it.
Well, yeah,
showwomanship or whatever.
That comes back to Trevor's point about the referees, is they're not used to having to deal with this stuff. And quite frankly, looking at the WNBA player salaries, the WNBA refs are probably making $70,000 a year, dude.
Yeah.
No disrespect if that's what you make, but you're getting paid to referee this game that's on national TV. A player that is the icon of your league,
right?
And you're getting paid I won't call it peanuts, but like you're getting paid a fraction of what she makes after endorsements, this, that, and the other
also
thing to
compared
protect
to what
her.
other refs make.
Like, why should you, as an NBA ref or an ump?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's like, why should you give a shit?
Right. Compared to the other ref's salary, they're making nothing.
The other thing about it too that I've been thinking about is like I feel like when it comes to like the league and everything, I feel like there's like a hesitancy to like the obvious takeaway is like she's like the star of the league, like she's putting eyeballs on this league, they should protect her, blah blah blah. But I feel like if they really do that, then she starts to become like a heel, starts to become kind of a villain, like a Sidney Crosby type of figure.
Yeah.
And I feel like the league is like doesn't want that. They don't want her to be like a villain. Which, like, I feel like that would be cool if she was.
I think she kind of is.
I feel like they should just lead into that.
Yeah, whether they want her to become that or not, she kind of already is.
But I feel like they, like, they can't just, let her get like, beat up on the court. Like,
I get what you're saying. I think that, it's like the Sidney Crosby take, right, would be if the league was defending her from getting touched or getting hurt, and she still beat the shit out of the rest of the league. I think right now they're kind of letting her be the face of the league and also understand that, like, I think it's kind of cool that she, like, Sidney Crosby was a pussy his whole career when he was on fire and great, but he was always a bitch, so whatever. But then you look at Caitlin Clark and, like, she's got a little dog in her a little bit. Like, she does not back away. She gets the crowd going. She yells at everybody. She yells at the bench. She yells at other players. She gets involved in most of the fights that she's getting antagonized to be in. So I think it's kind of like she earns respect that way too from her teammates, and is why that's have to draw in from other fans to watch her play.
Yeah,
like she's not just like this protected little, princess.
Yeah, she's
dropping 30 points on teams that can't get touched. Like it's kind of cool to watch her also just go toe to toe with whoever it may be.
Yeah, I mean she's a baller. Like she's not afraid to like hoop and like talk her shit and like let her games do some of the talking too, which is cool. I respect it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Her stands just have gotten so much to my, like, on my nerves. We're just like, dude, she can do wrong too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people say that she was assaulted as a fucking soft-ass move.
Like, that's absurd.
Right. She gets poked in the eye. That's just, someone could be going for the ball.
That happens in basketball.
To be fair.
She didn't lose her eye like that one guy did. Remember that shit?
Yo, to be fair, when...
Dude got hit in the back of the head with the ball and his eyeball popped out of his head.
What the...
Yeah. Was that? What? You never saw that?
No. Mm-hmm. Nah, the point I was going to make is the girl
Caitlin Clark ain't doing that show to court.
The girl that shoved her, like Marina Mabry, she's from Jersey, actually. She's wild, yo. She's, like, always, like, getting into, like, drama and getting...
The secondary chick?
Yeah. Getting into scrubs, like, scuffles and shit. Like, she's wild. Like, for her to not get suspended, especially considering in the NHL, they would say, yeah, she has a history of this. We're suspending her ass. We're ejecting her and suspending her. For her to not get anything... Again, just points to refereeing just being...
Or player safety.
Lackluster, or player safety, whatever you want to call it. But then the other crazy thing was that wasn't the only fight. Later in the game,
yeah,
Sophie Cunningham, her MAGA ass, she's a lunatic too, she's always trying to get into fights. She just straight tackles the...
ripped her right to the ground.
Yeah, this shit was wild, dude. It's just like, damn. All of this would have been so much more controlled if the refs would have gotten, like, a grip on the game from the beginning. And, yeah, as a fan of sports, sometimes I dislike over-refereeing. And as a fan of sports, sometimes I like to see a couple brawls happen. But that's not what the game is about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was into it.
Yeah.
I
will say, the intensity is great. I do love the fact that...
They play harder than the NBA, dude.
These... women fucking hate each other. I love that. Like, bring that to the NBA. Like, honestly, like that's
I've been about that. That's why I started watching it a few years ago.
Also, I feel like if this was in the NBA, it would have been. I feel like I only saw it here and there. Like, if it was in the NBA, this would have been all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like as much as we know about it, but we're connected with a lot. We watch a lot of sports, so I feel like it's probably...
There's a lot, I mean...
I beg to differ only because it's Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Like, if it was Sabrina Ionescu or if it was...
if the same thing happened to anyone else, like, we wouldn't... People would not be talking about it.
Well, no, definitely not. Yeah. But
yeah, I mean... the WNBA, they got some Draymond Greens running around here, dude.
Definitely.
Like Marina Mabry's kind of the white Draymond Green, the white women Draymond Green, dude. She's wild.
She got her. It was like a horse collar flag.
Yeah.
She got her in the back.
Yeah, she like decked her. I was like, damn. Like if she was playing football, like she'd be a mean safety. She knocked her like on her ass, dude. But
C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
yeah.
Yeah.
But nah, man. Shout out to the WNBA. I mean, this is one way to get the eyes on it.
It's true.
It's probably not the way
it's
they
all
want.
part of the plan.
It's not the way they want it to happen, but hey.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like there's like guys who are in the marketing department or like whoever is, you know, for the WNBA, and they just like they still haven't quite figured out how to play the whole Caitlin Clark thing. And it's like, should we punish people that are fucking with her? Should we let this happen? Should we do this? Should we do that? Like, because they know that like all the eyeballs are on her. Like people like, whether you like it or not, people are watching this league largely because of her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, how do we play this?
Right.
And like, you know,
I mean, they got to just go all in.
it's going to result in some like weird situations and things.
She hasn't slowed down. It's not like,
No, she's still balling, dude.
I think, you know, at a certain point, you're just going to buy into that shit. But like, yeah, she is the face of the league already.
Yeah.
Albeit respectfully to all the other women in the WNBA that have been, you know, multiple, you know, multi-time MVPs and champions and all that stuff. But she's not just breaking records. She's like fucking shattering records.
Yeah.
Like in a ridiculous rate.
I mean, it's just,
like,
makes like fucking logo threes like all the time. It's
even just the assists,
nuts.
the rebounds, the steals, like the shit that she does also is just like
No, I think,
at
man,
such a high
like
rate.
she's not the only player that makes logo threes. Like My Liberty, Sabrina Ionescu makes logo threes, but Caitlin Clark is such a like just fundamentally sound player as far as like passing.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
what I'm
just
saying.
her like basketball IQ. It's like insanely good. Like I wouldn't say she's the best player in the WNBA, but she's easily probably top 10 already in her second year in the league, right? So, I mean, shout out to her, but also shout out to My Liberty.
But who gave them their first
front
loss?
runner?
The bitch, I ain't no front runner. I've been about the Liberty for 2.5 years.
Oh, 2.5 years.
Get a grip. When I started watching WNBA basketball, get a grip.
WNBA what?
Yeah.
Nah, when I told you this the other day.
But who gave them the first loss though this year?
Yeah, the Fever. It was a great.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark's first game back after getting hurt.
She dropped.
I saw that. I watched that game.
32.
Yeah,
Ionescu dropped 34. My girl. But anyway, damn, I forgot what I was going to say.
Kind of all flustered now.
Yeah, it got me all worked up.
He said 2 years ago.
Yeah,
No.
I've been following for 2 years.
2
They've
years,
won the championship in one of those years.
Yeah, man.
I guess there are only like 12 teams, so
Yeah.
Right.
And they're the closest geographically to
Okay.
Philly. What do you want me to do?
New York.
But when we get a team in Philly, I'm off the Liberty. I already said
that. That's a Avery's listening to Frank Sinatra.
But then,
Yeah,
but
man.
then me and Trevor could say that the Philadelphia team was our
going up there to get a chopped cheese.
We could say it's our
Yo,
first.
chopped cheese is all right, though.
We could say it's our first ever WNBA
Going
team. You'll be
to-
like, I got to transition now. Teams.
That's fine. I mean, if we had a
One of
team
these
in
days.
Philly from
We'll
the
get one
start,
at some point.
I'm just going to keep holding out. I'll watch from afar, and I won't be committed until we have a
can't.
team.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't get invested in a particular
y'all
team.
can barely follow the Sixers. You're gonna follow a
I follow.
WNBA
Whoa,
team.
whoa. I think that's totally different. Committing to a team is a big undertaking. You know? Because then, we commit to
that's a whole thing.
other teams, and then we get a team, then I got to dump that team, or got to have two teams. Like, I can't do all that.
It sounds like excuses to me.
But that's what you're going to have to do one day. You're going to have to meet the crossroad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Well, as soon as we get a team in Philly, I'm out on the Liberty.
Completely?
Yes.
No emotional attachment?
You're gonna burn your jerseys.
I don't have no
Interesting.
jerseys. I've explicitly not bought no jerseys for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But that's, that's interesting. It's interesting.
Hey,
take.
now we need a team. But until you get me one, I'm going to root for
What
whatever.
do we say the team name's going to be?
The Bells. After the Liberty Bell.
Oh, yeah.
They can't be the Liberty because there's already a Liberty, but they can be the Bells.
What did you say?
I don't know if I ever
You
had
don't
one.
have a team?
I do think the Bells is good. I think that's a good name.
Yeah, I've been about that.
Or, I mean, if the WNBA were smart, they would just make the team names like the same as the NBA team names.
Philadelphia.
But then there's like
Yeah,
probably
built in.
there's probably like branding issues and stuff like that.
The Philadelphia.
I don't know.
Especially if they're playing in the same arena, just be like,
hold up,
women's Sixers.
If you're a women's team, why would you want to be associated with the Sixers?
The Philadelphia Water
This
Ices.
team that's been ass, dude.
I don't know, because they turn a profit.
I guess they make
unlike
money.
The WNBA.
Yeah. Philadelphia cheesesteaks.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's like, yeah, I've said it before, but it's like, I mean, not just me, like, a lot of people have said this, but that it's like, you know.
It is confusing.
Yeah, well, it's just like how, you know, in college, like, people are going to watch women's Duke UNC because it's Duke UNC. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
like,
I guess
you still have like those like built-in brands and stuff.
But you also
Makes
wouldn't
it
be able to
easier.
manufacture that rivalry the same way. I don't think. But
there's no like you don't have any like what's it called, alumni, like it's a whole you get a whole different.
Well, it's just like you already like I mean every other like if you look at like women's soccer abroad, like all like the Premier League teams have like a women's like there's a women's Arsenal, women's Tottenham, like that's how that works, and they already have like a. Obviously, they're not as popular as the men's team, but it's like you already have sort of a built-in fan base to draw from.
Let's change the game up then. Philadelphia
You don't
Sixers.
try to like just make your
round 2
completely own thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like the bells. That's just
Bells is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Y'all come up with more. Give me time.
Yeah.
That ain't happening tonight though.
Nah, I ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at time anyway.
Yeah, I think that's gonna just about do it for us.
Damn, we didn't even talk about the hoogie crawl, but that's fine because that
That's
bitch Nick wasn't on the podcast anyway.
Yeah. I think I'll just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review of your podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Shout out Juneteenth.